Hello and welcome to this week's how-to video for parents. I'm Karen Locke-Culp. I am a child development expert and a parent coach. I have a website and a private coaching community at WeTurnedOutOK.com. And I also have the reason I can do that is because I have a master's degree in early childhood education and a bachelor's degree in human development and family relations, and a lot of experience working with young children. And today I want to talk about having a successful child, raising successful, fulfilled, happy people who go out into the world as adults and they're contributing and they're fulfilled within themselves and they have really good relationships. All of these things can be really hard to think about, I think, as you are raising little kids. My kids are older now, and I'm seeing this materialize. Like, I'm seeing the kind of adults that they are becoming, and it's frankly blowing my mind, because once upon a time, a decade or more ago, 15 years ago, say, I was right where you are, where I was like, oh my God, like, if they can't do this now at 4, what are they going to be like at 20 or something like that? And I don't have 20-year-olds yet. I still have teens, but it can be really scary. And so I first want to just give you a hug and tell you that there is hope. Like, that even though they may do things that drive you crazy now, with care and attention and the right kind of attitude and mindset, you can help. You can have them be successful, happy, and fulfilled. There's a much better chance if you follow a certain path than if you follow other paths. So I want to talk about that certain path. And I want to do it with I've come up with 3 practicalities of raising successful kids. And successful kids, I should say, it's sort of a catch-all phrase. I don't know what successful means to you. It might mean something completely different to you than it does to another viewer, or even to me. I think a lot of people, with their gut reaction, especially raised in the West, is, oh, I want my kid to be a millionaire. I want my kid to make a ton of money. Jokingly, we say a lot, I want my kids to support us in retirement. And that was said to us when we were kids too. My folks used to always say, oh, I would say, thank you. And they would say, oh, don't worry about it. Just support us in our retirement. That hasn't come to pass. They are very self-supporting in their retirement. But we can worry about money, and a lot of times we sort of tie up success with money when maybe they're not necessarily the same thing at all. So I think the first practicality of raising successful, happy, fulfilled people is to decide, what does success mean? And understand that success might mean something to you that it doesn't mean to your kids. So this video is a very short distillation of a podcast episode that I did. It was episode 262 of We Turned Out Okay. And it's available on the web at WeTurnedOutOK.com/262, and I link to it in these show notes, so you can find it quickly. And so I give a much broader definition and a much bigger explanation to some of the research that I've done about this, and some of the research that other people have, who I was reading in terms of researching. And so you can definitely go there for the long version. But I want to dive in here to the practicalities. The first one is deciding what success means. And as I said, it may mean something different to you than it does to your child. It may mean something different to you than it does to, like, your extended family or your friends. So if your definition of success includes something that goes against the values of other people, like say, you were raised in the middle of Manhattan and everybody thinks you are nutsoid because you want 40 acres with a house in the middle somewhere upstate, or you want to live in a beach cabin in Thailand, and the people around you cannot understand that. I mean, actually, when my folks moved to Colorado, which they did more than 20 years ago, they did brush up against this. People thought they were crazy. Like, people were like, most people were like, oh my God, I'm so jealous, I could never do that. And then there was a fraction of people who didn't understand, why would you leave everyone that you know and go somewhere that you don't know? And it's been awesome. And I'm glad they stuck with it, because their definition of success was that. So deciding what it means to you, and then reserving, I guess, a little bit of a little piece of your mind just to say to your child, listen, my definition of success might be different than yours when you grow up, and that's fine. If you live as someone that I knew in a family of accordion players, and you want to play the guitar, that's okay. And I hope that you, as an adult, can understand that your child might not necessarily have the same definition of success that you do, and that's okay. You're going to help them and support them as they pursue their own definition of success, provided it is moral and legal and all that good stuff. I'm not talking about shady things. I'm talking about really good and wonderful things. So, okay. So number one, decide what success means to you and to your child. Number two, choose what you model. So if you aspire to be, or you want your child to be, really rich. You want your child to be, your definition of success for your child is that you are as a family rich, and you are spending money in ways that do not support that. Your child sees that. Your child sees you go buy $50 in lottery tickets each week, rather than investing that $50 in yourself, or in something that will make it so that you can be sort of more successful, because the chances of you winning the lottery are less than the chances of you, if I think I've got this right, of getting struck by lightning. So that's not a recipe for success. And yet so many people do it thinking, I'm putting my last hope in the lottery. If you say that you want to be successful and you're not doing the things to make that happen, if you're acting, in a detrimental way towards that, that's what your child is learning, because you're modeling non-success, I guess. And this sounds really harsh. I describe it in the podcast with if you say that you want your child to be happy, I guess what I want to say is I'm not accusing you of doing bad things with your money, or throwing it away, or not. I guess what I'm asking you to do is kind of look inside yourself. Where inside yourself, what do you see? What do you feel about the things that you say versus the things that you do? So just as a quick, I don't love happiness as an ultimate goal, because it's very slippery. Happiness might mean fulfillment, which I think is what I take it to mean, but we can't be 1,000% happy all the time. There's a lot of considerations that we try to build to the point where we can be happy, and then we build up to it again, right? And we're sort of going through our life. So happiness itself isn't, I think, a goal that is useful to only work towards. We have to do other things to figure out how to be happy, right? But if we take happiness, if we say, I just want my child to be happy, and we ourselves are walking around modeling the opposite of happiness, if we are walking around and we're very, very sad, or we're very, very mad all the time for years, we're not modeling what we say we want our kids to see. So know that that's number two. And then number three is encourage their passions, because the way that we get successful people, that used to be thought when I was in school and stuff like that, we were told, oh, you need to be well-rounded. Like, you need to have all of these competencies. You don't need to do anything excellently well or be super interested in any one thing, as long as you've got your bases covered. And I don't believe that at all. I think that a coach that I really love talks about, he doesn't believe in balance, he believes in obsessions. And he means this in a good way, in a positive way. Being obsessed about something means that you're passionate about it. We're not taking this to any kind of like demented level. Okay. So I was obsessed with creating a podcast, and I was obsessed with helping people. Well, first I was obsessed with learning about human development. And then I got obsessed with, I would see around me so many people who just didn't know, really competent, good people who didn't know how to raise their kids, who were making mistakes that I knew could be really, really easily fixed. And I became obsessed with, how do I help these people? And that's what I do every day now. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Like help your child in their passions. and if their passions shift, as they do, that's okay. Like maybe my friend who was raised in the accordion family, maybe they loved accordions, uh, and maybe he did too when he was small. But then when he grew up and said, you know what, the accordion isn't really that interesting to me anymore, but check out that guitar, that's really interesting to me. Um, that has to be okay because it's not about us, it's about them, it's about what they want, right? So those are the three ways basically to have successful, happy, fulfilled people, to raise successful, happy, fulfilled people. They are, just to sum up really quick, decide what success means for you, and know that it might be different for your child. Choose what you model. So if you say you want your child to be happy, do not model unhappiness, at least not all the time. At least not most of the time, I would say. And then the third one is encourage their passions, because that's what's going to come out. That's what's going to help them know what they want to do, know what they're interested in when they grow up, and that's what we want. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. If you got something out of this video, if you would just hit the like button, that would be much appreciated. If you would share this video, either with just a friend or into a parenting group that you really like and think people in there might get something out of this. And subscribe to this channel, because then what happens is every Thursday morning when I go live, you will get an announcement about that. So, and again, thank you so much for watching, particularly all the way to the end, and we will see you next week for another how-to video. All right, bye. Thanks for watching.